From Tarmac, I'm Dave.
I'm Matthew, and it's a nice sunny day here, and we might as well be in Santa Fe. But actually we are, because this behind us is the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe.
That's right, the Santa Fe turns 4 generations, that is, and this is what it's all about. Come, let's take a look at this. New Zealand's #1 selling, certainly in this segment, SUV has turned 20, which is about the same age as Matthew. But realistically, this has got so much more going for it. This model has got better design, better technology and better safety. But certainly on the technology side, it's got things like this. It starts by itself, I love it. It also, someone is called, come on, come on. There you go. I love that. Or, go back, go back. Go on. I'm done with you. Go, go, go. How cool is that? Come, let's take a closer look at the rest of it. As I said, this is now featuring the new design language from Hyundai. So you've got this massive, big, wide cascading grille, which is in this model, which is the limited, comes with this plenty of chrome or chrome effect, which is actually here, down the bottom, all the way around the side here. Very cool. Also comes with a new light setup, which is basically LEDs and DRLs all the way through here. Forms a sort of a T, which is quite cool, but plenty of light that also angles round the corners, which is cool. The rest of it, look at it, it's just big and wide and bold. Really nice. Let's take a look down the side. Our review model comes in glacier white. Finally, a car colour that makes sense. Glacier white, who knew? It's got 20-inch feet and also some really wide 255s. I mean, this is sports car territory. Really huggy and great for the road holding. Really cool. Nice black trim around here for your wheel arches, and also runs all the way down here with a little bit of chrome across here. This one's got big, huge panoramic sunroof, which opens all the way back, and some added roof racks just for throwing more stuff on the top for when you go away, go to the snow, go to the sea, go to the beach, go wherever you want to go on this adventure with this vehicle. Very cool. Round the rear, of course, it comes with a roofline spoiler with obviously stop lights from there. Some lovely LEDs across here. This is not a light strip, it is a reflector strip, but it's very cool either way. Santa Fe with the nice sun from here, 2.2 litres, which we'll get to in a moment. And also this one comes with the tow bar, which actually this one has been upgraded to a 2.5 ton towing, which is really good brake. No exhaust pipes because actually I have no idea why, but no exhaust pipes. It must be electric, which it isn't, I'm just joking. And also for those carrying heavy loads, it comes with this proximity key, so it's magic. With these seats down, 625 litres of boot space, which is an increase of around 25 litres, so actually more space to throw whatever you want in there, or you can actually have the extra 2 kids in the back if you need them. Let's have a look under the bonnet. Under here is a class-leading 2.2 litre diesel R-Series Smart Stream engine, which delivers 148 kilowatts of power, 440 newton meters of torque. I mean, that's a huge amount from such a small, small engine, really. Fuel efficiency is just 6.1 litres per 100 kilometers, so it's quite efficient, or actually very efficient. Not bad overall, and actually delivers plenty of power. Speaking of smart sense, we've got Matthew inside who's going to show you all around what's going on in there.
Smart sense. Gosh, I wish I had that when I was doing my exams. But anyway, that's really, I guess, the unique point of the Santa Fe is how smart it is. And you certainly look at this interior and think, well, yeah, it definitely is. I mean, quality of materials really good all around. It is sort of Hyundai's premium SUV just below the Palisade, so you get leather on the top of the dashboard, you get a bit more there, a little bit of slightly scratchy plastics, and then of course soft Nappa leather on the seats. So really well equipped in that sense. The big talking point with this car is the center console. In this model, it's now raised and almost floating. Floating in the sense that you can see my hand through there, and that's a typical Santa Fe feature, except now the center console is a little bit more raised than it used to be. Over here you have everything you need really. There's your audio controls, air conditioning controls, there's the buttons that you need for the transmission. There's no gear, notice that. Though on the lower spec Santa Fe models you do get a gear. You also get this, Hyundai's Drive Terrain Response System, which includes comfort, snow, mud, sand, eco, and smart. I think I've covered them all. Ah yes, and not to forget, sport. Another thing is that the texture through here is almost like a carbon fiber look, but it looks really nice actually. It doesn't look like a fake carbon kind of theme. And you pop this piece open and you get storage space for a cup there and a USB charging point. And frankly, you can get one cup in there and a second one in there, so plenty for both passengers on a long road trip. Another really cool point about the Santa Fe is that with your phone you can actually have it sitting up there, or if that's too intrusive for you, you can actually slot it down there so it's hidden away and flush with this center console. And there's actually a wireless charging pad in there on the side, so another really cool feature. You pop that open there and you get a nice big storage bin down there with dual level. It's also soft and felt lined at the bottom, which is nice. And everything generally feels very sturdy around this cabin. Not to forget the design aspect, there's plenty of chrome look finishes around, and of course those Harman Kardon audio system speakers, which have a really nice textured look to them. Again, you can't forget that it is Harman Kardon because it says Harman Kardon on the 10-inch touchscreen over there. Speaking of which, let's have a look at that. Okay, so this 10.5-inch touchscreen is, as you can see, controls the Harman Kardon audio system there. Has a really nice look to it, almost like a smartphone. You got your profile there, the time, and whatever you're using in the background there, which happens to be the maps at the moment. Swipe through and you get all the features there, maps, phone, stuff like that, you know, kind of stuff that you'd expect in a car as high spec as this is. One of the cool quirks that it has actually is this thing called Sounds of Nature. So when you click into that, you can actually have all sorts of different settings. Here we are, calm ocean waves, because we are by the beach of course, and you get some other quirky options there. Some other quirky features of this Santa Fe is passenger talk, where you and the driver can use your front microphone to speak to the passengers right at the back. It's very cool and very sort of tour guide like. And you go back and there's another one, quiet mode there, where it'll only play the media through the front speakers so that if somebody's sleeping in the back you won't disturb them. I've got to say, those are some really awesome and thoughtful features, the kind of stuff you'd probably see on the high-end European cars. So well done there, Hyundai. Good job. Another really nice feature of this Santa Fe is the digital dashboard. So let's take a look at that. In front of you here you have this leather-wrapped steering wheel, which in the limited model comes with actually paddle shifts behind here to operate that dual clutch gearbox, which we'll get to later on. In front of you with this digital dashboard you have obviously the speedometer on the left, rev counter on the right. Currently it's showing me that my door is open, but you can get rid of that screen by using your indicator because it comes with lane sense. Flicking the indicator will activate the camera on the right side to show you if there's any car sitting in your blind spot just there, and it does the same thing if you flick it to the left. There you go. Really intelligent again. Another thing that's smart about this car is all the buttons on the steering wheel, because on the left side you've got the stuff that controls your phone, and if you press this button here that says mode, you can actually choose from the screen a shortcut basically. So you can choose from the radio station to Bluetooth to the sounds of nature, all that stuff. Shortcuts through there on your screen in the middle. That's pretty intelligent. So a lot's changed in the front of the car here. Well, let's hop into the middle row and see if anything's new over there. Obviously, with this new generation of the Santa Fe, nothing different to the previous generation in the way that there's still a ton of space at the back here. I'm just on the 6 foot and I have plenty of knee room, a ton of foot room, and because this is an SUV, there's no transmission tunnel down here. Another nice feature to get 3 across the back here. And then plenty of headroom, not to forget that there's also a very large panoramic glass sunroof up there. There's a lot of nods to airplanes if you like in here, one of which is this pull-out magazine holder. Nice feature. Speaking of nice stuff, there's also a third row of seats, so let's hop in there with a touch of a button and see what that's like. Access to the third row is really easy, just one button in fact will get you there. Dave has very smartly refused to get into the back here, so I'll show you how to do it. Admittedly, it's not going to be very easy. Admittedly, there's not a lot of space in the third row here for somebody of my height. I mean, my knees are sort of halfway into the seats in front, and headroom is decent, but if you're taller than me, then you're probably not going to fit here, but that's absolutely fine because this space here is intended mainly for children, and if I was a child, I'd be super happy in the back here actually, because there's even charging ports for your devices, so Hyundai really thought of everything here. In terms of their thoughtfulness, there's a lot going on into the driving, so let's take it for a drive and see what's new.
Okay, so cards on the table. I have to admit, I am a bit of a fan of the Santa Fe. I've had the previous models down south, taking the family away skiing, and really, realistically, it doesn't miss a beat. It's just fantastic. Fits all the gear in, fits the family in, and is just an absolute dream to drive as far as SUVs go, which is cool. This 4th generation is so much better. It's exactly, or does exactly what it says on the packet. It's smarter, it's better designed, and the tech is dripping in it. It's really cool. And safety wise, realistically, again, just so much going on. Really enjoy it. Big fan.
I mean, that's exactly why it's not hard to see that it's such a popular SUV in New Zealand. In fact, one of the most popular, because we Kiwis here, we like our lifestyle. And this is the kind of SUV where, you know, you can hang the bikes on the back, you can put the canoes on the top, you can put all your tent and your kids and everything in the back and take them away for a weekend. And it's got all the space and all the power you need for all of that.
You can, and it's also quite frugal. You know, that 6.1 litres per 100 on a diesel point of view means you can go. I mean, we picked this up with 900 Ks on the clock of range, which is awesome. You know, really can go down to Wellington back and still have some space to go for a drive-through, which is cool. Seating position, love it. The seats are really comfortable. The Napa leather is great. Driving position's good. Love the amount of space. We all know I'm not the biggest type of guy, so you know, a cardboard box is plenty of space, but I actually feel like there's plenty of room for me.
I mean, just look at the distance between the two of us here. It's really a testament to the Santa Fe. You know, it's a big car on the outside and it sure is big on the inside, but it doesn't feel that big to drive.
But again, then comes into the tech. Digital dashboard, digital cluster, just everything going on. I love the fact that when you take a right, the blind spot pops up on the right, and left, same thing. I know it's a gimmick about the car moving forward and backwards, and I don't know how many times I'd use it, but certainly impresses the kids, and you know, to be honest, impresses me.
I mean, that's something that Hyundai do extremely well, is backing their cars full of technology and really being quite competitive to the, I guess, more luxurious names in the car world, and this Hyundai Santa Fe can really stick it to them.
Yeah, Euros, watch out, that's for sure. The drive has been improved. Matthew will tell you all about that. He's a bit of a geek when it comes to that sort of stuff. But realistically, as far as all you need to know is, it just drives smooth, soft, and
really comfortable.
And I mean, here comes the geeky bit. The suspension is different, even though the chassis is the same as the previous model. The major difference with the suspension is the fact that previously Hyundai used to tune the suspension specifically to Australian roads, and even though we're in New Zealand, we get the same sort of setup as the Aussies. And they used to do that for, you know, the different corners of the world. But what they're doing now is that everybody in the world gets one suspension setup. Everybody gets the same. And how they've done that is that they've just softened it as much as possible so that it just eats up the bumps no matter where you are in the world. And I guess in that sense they've been a bit lazy, but the upside of that is that everybody gets a softer ride. No complaints there.
Anyone still there? Anyone still with us? I'm glad you covered that off. Like I said, all you need to know is it just drives a lot nicer or a lot softer, which is great for those. Keeping the family quiet and under control. The other thing that keeps them under control is that voice control from the pilot's deck here, so I can, attention everybody, I can get everybody in the back involved and tell them that it's going to be a bumpy ride. Actually, it's going to be a soft ride on the way down, and expect an altitude of 0 feet.
And just like an airplane, you've actually got all the seatbelt buckle signs up here and like the lights and all that stuff, so it's very sort of, I guess, airplane like, and very much a captain's seat there.
It's also got another couple of features. If you're in traffic and you happen to be on your phone, not that you would, you know, as far as traffic lights go, and they pull away, a little alert comes up to say basically the traffic's moved and you're going to get honked unless you move straight on. So it just, I don't know, it just stops those people from behind you telling you you need to move on. And the other cool thing from a safety point of view, if you happen to be trying to pull away without having your seatbelt on, it does keep the handbrake on to tell you to not pull away without your seatbelt on. So it is very safety conscious, and it's those little tips and hints and, I don't know, good things that really make this family SUV such a family favourite.
And I mean, speaking of things that are cool, well, both of us are actually, because these front seats are ventilated and heated. So is the steering wheel, has a heating function as well. And then if you're sitting in the middle, you also get a heating function. So, you know, all those things make the Santa Fe such a fan favorite in this segment.
And it really is. You know, it's been number one in New Zealand for a number of years now, and it's easy to see why. I mean, it's a 20-year-old favourite. Unlike you're not a 20-year-old favourite, a 21-year-old favourite.
I've got to say that it's probably aged a lot better than I have.
If I'm honest, the push-button drive, neutral, park and stuff does take a little bit of getting used to. I think once you're in it and you're using it, you'll know exactly where everything is, but it's just something different. It's not overly complicated, and I really should know how to do it, but it just takes a bit of thought. Anyway,
I'm gonna get a little bit geeky here, because the fact with dual clutch gearboxes is that you can't let themselves hold the car on a hill, because that'll just wear out your clutch, and who wants that? So what Hyundai have done is put in the auto hold button. Press that and the car will use the brakes to hold itself on a hill, meaning that you won't wear out the clutch. That's a bit of smart sense right there.
Top tip, my friend, top tip. So there you have it, the 4th generation Santa Fe. It is smarter, it is better designed, and boys, it's full of tech. I just love it. And from a family point of view, I do have a small family, and they would love it. They really would. Plenty of room to get the little one lost in the back, right at the back there, although I can talk to him and let him know what's going on. So very cool.
And in 20 years, the Santa Fe has come such a long way, and with this new model, frankly, we can't see it going anywhere.
And funnily enough, in 20 years, you've come nowhere. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Appreciate having you along. Make sure you subscribe. It is somewhere along here. And give us some comments or something, you know.
And as always, we'll see you next time in who knows what.
Cheers.